figured I'd change it up a little bit and use those very lovely produced intro videos that the incredible graphics department does for us. Zach, and I was like, hey, let's kick things off with that.
Zard, who's still believe it or not, he's still incredibly nice to us considering we roasted it with Dynasty last week.
Did we ever? Are you? Is this? Oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
Yes. Still, he still talks to us.
For now.
But I want to. I didn't expect the audio to lower. But hey.
Okay. Well, yeah, it happens. But we're all learning here. But if you're watching this on a Friday evening and you're like, what the heck? Shoot, real life stuff got in the way, and we were going to record, and we said, let's just go live. Just be ready for the weekend.
Yeah, tomorrow I am headed down to Thief River Falls, Minnesota. I'm going to go watch the Destination Pro show. Yeah, so I'm a little hyped about that. So
can't wait to hear about that next weekend.
Yeah, well, I'll tell all about it, but you were the one who had. You were the one rubbing elbows. You were doing all the hobnobbing.
Dude.
You were not slumming it. You were living the lavish life.
I don't know about lavish life, but
from the outhouse to the penthouse.
To the outhouse to the balcony of the Fountain Square Theater, baby.
How was it? You were at Royal Rumble weekend.
So I was.
Let's hear.
I was at Royal Rumble weekend covering the Rumble for Love Wrestling. Which awesome. Thank you to them and thank you to WWE for having me. But a little nugget, a little cherry on top of the WWE Sunday that I got to partake in this weekend was that where JPJ and I stayed was 5 minutes from Fountain Square. Mm-hmm. And Fountain Square Theater was holding a Combat Crossroads weekend. Basically, the people at Naptown Pro and Jay Rose specifically, from what I heard, put on shows throughout the entire weekend around all of the Rumble events, or even during some of the WWE stuff. But it was nice. We ended up getting some press passes as well, so that really helped out. We were able to come and go and cover all of the stuff that we could. So we started off Thursday night just chilling in the balcony, watching some Naptown Pros. Super fun stuff. Tankman was there. Calvin Tankman, one of our favorites.
I love Calvin Tankman.
Yeah.
Guy's a beauty.
Too. And it was a cool little venue, a nice little theater. It was just like, again, we woke up on Saturday morning, grabbed coffee and watched wrestling. Like it was a nice little time. So Thursday night was Naptown Pro. It was a really fun show to kind of get us started. And then Friday, we obviously had the media runs. We had to kind of do that. And then obviously we kind of did it. We had to do that. Mm-hmm. And we had to do a couple other things. But after that, we did not get approved for SmackDown, which is okay. So what we ended up doing was we had caught the end of Wrestling Revolver show. I wish I would have got to see a little bit more, but by the time we got back and into the mix and everything, they were kind of wrapping up. But got to see Calvin. I did get to see Calvin Tankman. He was there. I also have a really cool photo with AJ Francis. I asked him for a photo, and he ducked away as soon as I took the shot, so you just see his shoulder. So thank you for that, AJ. I appreciate you. I'm not going to say an unkind word about you because I know how you treat content creators in this space. But no, we got to see Myron Reed versus Trey Miguel in the main event. But I just loved it. It was cool. Like, we were walking in, and Paul Walker Hauser's just walking out after his match, and it's just like, oh, man, there's just – and then, obviously, the big one for us was GCW. We were gonna go to that regardless of how everything shook out. But JPJ and I just decided to post up after Revolver since we had our press passes. You know, nobody was messing with us. And we just kind of got to watch them set up the ring and stuff and get ready to go. And that was a wild show. It was a very wild show. We got Effie was there, Manser. There was a Fist of Fire. Gringo Loco and Tankman were the main event. And it was just bonkers. Loco tried to do a Spanish fly with Tankman and missed a little bit. And luckily he's okay, but he cut up his head. So that was fun. Like, and then of course, I don't know if you saw the news or saw any of the stuff with Joey Janela.
I did. I saw that.
We were there. So, oh, and by the way, shout out to Caden Carter and Katana Chance, who were just hanging out at Fountain Square all weekend. We got to meet them and
nice.
chat with them a little bit. They were very nice people. But no, so coming soon to Love Wrestling websites at some point soon. We have an interview out with DEFY ahead of his match with Stephen Crow.
Hell yeah.
Just a heads up. But so while we're setting up and waiting for that, because again, DEFY, wonderful human being, spoke to him, said, hey, I said, do your thing with your merch line. I don't want to take any time away with what you're doing. He's like, yep, just let me get through this line. So as I'm standing off to the side, just kind of waiting it back and just waiting on him, all of a sudden, like a scuffle kind of breaks out over by Janela's table. Now, mind you, JPJ had walked away to go talk to somebody, and so he walked in that general direction. So my first thought was, oh shit,
JPJ's picking a fight with Joey Janela.
JPJ is in the scrum here. Something's going down. I'm about to lose JPJ. Like, that was my first thought. And then bright camera lights turn on, and I thought, oh, this is a gimmick, right? This is some stunt that Janela's pulling to further some feud or something, right? No, it was whatever that guy's name is. I can't remember his name, Dylan or something. I guess he had beef with Janela, and he just started in on him, and then he pushed Janela and flipped Janela's merch table, and then Janela chucked it at him. It's just like, holy shit. Like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And then, like, they beat him out, and Tankman drags him out of there. Bear hugs him out the building, and it was just, oh, make room. Mrs. Pluggo has arrived. Is she coming on screen? Does she have?
If she wants to join us,
she wants to join us and talk about independent wrestling. So yeah. So again, in this whole fray, right? Mm-hmm. I still have not found JPJ. Like, I can't find it. I'm like, oh my god, he just somehow was in the middle of that. It was just,
was he fighting with them?
Right. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he ended up just getting, but he was right there. So he actually had a much better vantage point than I did of it. But absolute insanity. Mm-hmm. And just like, but GCW put on one heck of a show. Like, it was a great time. It was my first live GCW. The energy was great. We talked to Emil J a little bit about it. The next day we ran into him at WrestleCon, and he was really nice and cool about it. And he was talking to us about it. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Nice.
Effie was fantastic. Like I said, the interview went great. I praise him for doing that for us. That was very, very cool of him. But we didn't get in till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was so late. It was late. I was dragging. And then
too late for me.
Yeah. So then Saturday morning we got up. There was another show, bright and early. Got into that mix a little bit. Watched some good matches. Tankman wrestled. Hoodfoot was there all weekend, doing Hoodfoot things, which I loved. And then, like, the icing on the independent wrestling side of this whole thing is that we go to the Rumble. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Bill Alfonso wanted to fight me.
Why? Because he knew that me and you do the show, and
I
met him once at the Time Bomb show in Fargo, but he was wasted.
No, right. So
just
WrestleCon was absolutely insanely packed, and somehow we got stopped in front of Bill Alfonso's spot, and he's chatting with JPJ, just pleasantries with JPJ, like.
Yeah,
just having a normal conversation, and I'm just kind of sitting there, just like enjoying it and just looking around. And all of a sudden, he goes, "I want to put this dude through a table." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you. I want to put you through a table." And I was like, "Why? I didn't do anything." And then he like pretend elbows me in the chest, but he gets me a little bit. And I was like, "What did I do to Bill Alfonso that he wants to fight me?" Just random, but I'll take it.
Was he blowing his whistle the entire time?
No, he was not. I did get to talk to Mance Warner and Steph DeLander about the Rizzler stuff, which was fun. I had a good time with that.
Nice.
But, and then Yeah, so Rumble happens. Good Rumble, good times.
Mm-hmm.
We end up in the press. We end up in the press conference. Him and I. So there's a Rhea Ripley lookalike contest as after the Rumble festivities, but that's also accompanied with like a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some wrestling going on. Bunch of Rhea Ripley's running around to the Fountain Square Arena, and through all of this insane weekend, I had forgotten what the main event of that show was. It was Hoodfoot versus Nick Gage.
Oh,
yeah, right? So, like, I had forgotten it was Nick Gage. I don't know if JPJ knew about it either, but all of a sudden his music hits and my phone freaks out on me. Like something, I was running low on battery and like, but I had like the perfect Nick Gage entrance shot. Like he walked down and I got the whole thing, but somehow it just didn't take. I don't know what happened. I'm really disappointed because I was like kind of in the middle of that. So it's Nick Gage and Hoodfoot at the end of this thing. And it's like 3:00 in the morning. Just absolute insanity. But it was a wonderful time. I was in my element. I was in my vibe, just hanging out. And it's cool. It's really cool to kind of see how they put that on. Like all the wrestlers were helping out all weekend. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want to get too behind the curtain, but Gringo Loco's on doing soundboard and stuff and helping out and like watching them all put the rings up and take the rings down, how like the community itself really got behind wrestling. There was other wrestling events throughout the city, but since we were right there, we just hung and posted up at the Naptown shows. And shout out to all of them. Like I can't wait to see what they do for SummerSlam and for WrestleMania when that comes around, because the city absolutely showed out, and it was cool. It was cool to get to see some just fun independent wrestling, some stuff that you might not see every day. I had a really fun time with it.
When is WrestleMania there? It's not next year, it's the year after.
No, I'm not sure yet. They haven't quite announced it.
Okay.
But I know it might be. I don't know.
I mean, that's one where, like, if it goes there, I mean, I might have to take the trek down. I'll pick you up on the way.
Yeah.
And we will do coverage of as much of the indie stuff as we can.
Especially on a WrestleMania weekend, you could probably get away with just going to indie stuff down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a shout out to a couple of friends in the media that were throwing some shows. We couldn't quite get out there, but there were other shows that we could have went to. Mm-hmm. But we obviously had to take care of our WWE obligations first.
Yes.
But it was just cool for me because it worked out kind of. I got some really cool stuff. I got to get some stuff for this, for our page as well, and just I talked to all the wrestlers. I said hi to your buddy Alec Price. He says what's up. Just they're all really nice and chill, and like Cole Radrick was like super excited to see JPJ and more JPJ because they'd hung out once before, but then he like warmed up to me throughout the weekend. So it's just like cool to see those guys do their thing. Yeah, and then Rye Levy's in the chat saying there's about 100 shows usually during the Mania weeks, and then he missed me in Indy. I missed a ton of people in Indy, and I apologize. It was not me big leaguing anybody. It was. Big League Pluggo is what we're going to start calling you. So one thing that if you go to these shows and you go to the WWE show and you're part of the press box media coverage for the big shows that are in, you only get access to the press box area. You can't go like walk the stadium, or you don't end up with like, so I couldn't like leave the press box. And I mean, this is my home state. So like I had a few people there that I would have loved to have seen, but you got to check in at a certain time and get in there at a certain time. And then you're in there. And then as soon as you leave, you're done. You're right out the door. So you're basically saying you weren't going to be slumming it with the common folk. You're too busy rubbing elbows. That's what you're saying. Something like that. Yeah, you like that, eh? No, I wasn't big leaguing Rye Levy. I was big leaguing nobody. I tried to be out and about as much as possible. Yeah, but you got to do the things. It's tough. But I'm glad that. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. I got to do a lot of really fun stuff and talk to some really cool people. And like I went to Cleveland. I went to SummerSlam. I didn't get to do much indie stuff there. It was my first run there, so I didn't get to. but the city was, the downtown area where the SummerSlam was, people were behind it. But I mean, the entire city of Indianapolis, like, got behind this Royal Rumble, and like everywhere you went, people were talking about it. Everywhere was themed, like they had themed wrestling stuff, like, because it's a big city, but it's a smaller big city. So
yeah,
it was just really cool to like get those opportunities and get to hang out and see some wrestling. Go to GC Dub.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, imagine being a guy that got beat up by the entire GCW locker room trying to dunk on people that just kicked his ass. That was fun.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'll have to. He talked about it a little bit yesterday on Beards, but you'll have to get the story from JPJ from his vantage point, because I guess he was like 2 feet away from it. I was like, because like poor Megan Baines sitting over there, and I guess she thought it was just a Janela skit at first, and nobody knew what was going on. And then, oh man, I loved seeing Tankman just bear hug a dude and drag him out. Shout out to Calvin Tankman.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be bear hugged by Calvin Tankman? You know?
I mean, this is true.
You just want to nestle in there.
This is very true. You know, the JCW showed up, the Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Too Tough Tony, your guy.
Yeah, the Pluggos were in the house.
Gross. No, but it definitely felt like that was the place to be if you weren't in the WWE mix. Like, it just felt like everybody was there having a good time. So
nice.
I had a lot of fun.
That's good. And now you're back at it. You're back, slanging that thing.
Trying. I'm still struggling a little bit. This week has been, because again, I don't work like that very often, but it's very cool. And shameless plug, if you want more stuff from what happened this weekend, it's all over our socials, all over my socials. Love Wrestling has all the interviews we did out now with Tiffany, Naya, Penta, and then we should have a vlog coming out in the next few days, I would assume, after it gets all edited up. But so yeah, there'll be plenty of coverage from what we did down in Indy.
Hell yeah. Well, we have some stuff to get to today.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot to get through.
So why'd you let me talk so long?
No, because I feel like a lot of times I do a lot of talking, and I was like, nah, you know what? Let Pluggo do the damn thing.
Or the bars at the hotel. Yeah, the bars at the hotel were pretty nuts there too, right, Levy? Like, because that's where the wrestlers were at. Like, it's just that WrestleCon was wild.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, so we're going to talk MLW today, but before we do that, we should probably. A lot has been announced for LPW, like a lot,
which we just talked about.
So I think we're gonna start off with that.
Yes.
Okay.
A new match got announced for LPW.
Yes. So let's go in order. We'll go over what we have, and then we'll talk about that. But before the end of the month, we've got LPW 34, February 28th. How the West was won.
How was the West won?
I don't know. With a gunslingers duo.
The Short Kings
against T.Y. Jackson and Stephen Crow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and we'll do a full preview on the 22nd, I think it is. I think that's the plan.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh.
We'll talk about it. No, but we'll definitely get it in there. Don't worry. We'll just chat about it.
Okay.
No, it should be fine, but we'll just 22nd. That's a big day here at the
So let's mark this time down. It's 6:20 Central Time on Saturday the 7th.
Technically it's now 7:20 Eastern Time on Friday the 7th.
Yes, sorry, 6:20 Central Time on Friday the 7th. Friday the 7th. This is when Pluggo has finally big timed us here on For Exposure.
I'm not big time.
So he's leaving us. He's gonna go hobnob with the other Pluggos.
No, we just might have to discuss the time. That's all.
Okay. Well,
that's all. It might just be a time thing, not a day thing. We'll see.
That's okay.
Anyway,
we also have MRB versus Blake Christian for the Challenge Championship.
Let's go, Blake. Let's go, Blake.
You are in for it. You know that? Like,
oh yeah, no, I already heard. So I'm just gonna lean into the kid.
Yeah, jeez, yikes.
But to be fair, I would have more insight on those matches that you announced. But which, by the way, last week's Cool Beans show is up now on IWTV. It just dropped today, so that is on my docket for this evening because I did miss it live, which I generally don't miss our OPW shows live, but I was rubbing elbows in Indy.
Yep, hobnobbing it.
Yeah, just skywalking across the whole city.
So that's February 28th. The following week,
hey,
LPW
crazy.
Yeah, they're
crazy.
LPW is making their Calgary debut.
Calgary, yes. Boris is excited.
Coming out of how the West was won, we are going to see a four-way match. So all the competitors in that tag match at 34 are going to be vying for the LPW Grand Championship in a ladder match. Isn't it
crazy that Reed still has that championship of South Asian, yet he's going to have this title opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting booking there. Yo, Boris, I just said your name and he appears. What's up, brother?
So we also have,
yes,
if MRB defeats Blake Christian, there's a big if. If he will have his hands full facing off against Victor.
Ah, yes, the one, the only Victor.
And I would implore you to go to the Love Wrestling YouTube page. I got the chance to chat with Victor. It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome.
Victor's great, and he's very hyped for this match. So
I'm green with jealous rage right now.
there's a lot there. So go check out that interview, and it's going to get you hyped up. So we got that also announced. We got the graphic for it. I had to re-upload it because it didn't go the first time. Zoe Sager versus Alexia Nicole. And I love this matchup because, I mean, Alexia, one of Eastern Canada's best, and they're going on with one of Western Canada's best. So, I mean, these two, this has potential to steal the show. And I cannot stress that enough. Like, this match is going to be great.
So very good. Very exciting.
Yeah,
Lexi was fantastic. Zoe rules. Boris said there's a lot of history with the Victor MRB match. Sounds like there is. Very pumped for that. Yeah, and then there's one more that we have, right?
Yes. So just announced this past week, Taryn from accounting.
TFA.
Going one-on-one with the 2024 West Coast Pro Queen of the Indies, Hyann. So
look, very cool. I listened, and it was supposed to be Allie Catch. Get well soon, Allie.
Yeah,
this is a great opponent to fill her shoes.
100%. So, I'm hyped for that match. I think it's gonna be great. TFA is one of our favorites, so these two are gonna go all out. I'm hyped.
Yes. Hyann, our For Exposure Female Wrestler of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's March 7th in Calgary. Then at the end of the month, it's back to Edmonton for LPW Into the Void. And at LPW Into the Void, LPW 35, we're going to see Zoe Sager versus Gianna Perazzo.
Yes.
And for the GCW World Championship, we're going to see Effie versus Stephen Crow. The Rhinestone Cowboy, going to win some gold.
Is going to wrestle for the GCW World Championship. Is going to be defended not only in Canada, but at an LPW show. Talk about how cool that is.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And JPJ and I talked to Effie about that. So you'll hear all his thoughts about that.
Yeah. Go check it out.
Probably the next couple weeks, I'd imagine, as we lead up to that match.
There you go.
He had some really nice things to say about Stephen Crow, but he also had some not so nice things to say about Stephen Crow. If he's a complex individual, there's layers there. He's like an onion. You got to peel him back.
Well, that's LPW. So we're gonna talk some MLW. We're gonna talk some DEFY. If we have time, we'll even talk some Dreamwave. We'll do indie in a minute.
If there's time, we're Home Depot. We'll go to Bed Bath and Beyond.
I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. So we're gonna kick things off with MLW because that's what the opening graphic said. And because we're actually going live Friday, we can talk DEFY too. But I didn't know we were going to do live Friday. So
yeah, I kind of threw you for a loop there.
You did.
I figured, what the hey? We're already here. Why don't we give the people us live in action?
Well, let's talk some MLW Superfight 6. Last MLW show, we crowned a new MLW champion, Matt Riddle, and we're getting a triple threat match for the World Championship. We're getting Satoshi Kojima versus the champ Matt Riddle versus one of our favorites, Alex Kane. Is Alex Kane bringing home the gold?
I hope so. I mean, I always root for Alex Kane to bring home the gold. That's always my. I don't pick against him. So yeah. Sorry, Matt. It was a short little live run for you, but it's going to go home with Alex Kane. Boo my yay. Boris is saying, tell Mrs. Pluggo that Mrs. Boris says hi, and then Mrs. Pluggo saying hi, Mrs. Boris.
Okay.
In our chat. Interesting. Things, sparks are flying in the chat.
Apparently.
But yeah, give me Alex Kane bringing it home.
I like Alex Kane as MLW champion.
I do too. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, Riddle's great and all, but I don't know if he's the long-term solution. Alex Kane's somebody you can build a roster around. I don't know. I'm going with Alex Kane.
Yeah. In the same way that I feel like AEW was like better when Kenny Omega was champion, I feel like MLW is better when Alex Kane is champion.
I'm with you there. That works.
Yeah, you get like you know the kind of vibe I'm talking.
I know we're not talking about that show, but Kenny Omega needs to be world champ like yesterday.
I know it does.
Just a thought.
I am so hyped for this one. Kenta versus Kevin Knight. I love Kevin Knight. I think Kevin Knight is great. I'm waiting for him to be signed by one of the big ones. But like this match, hell yeah, sign me up for this.
Oh yeah. And another one of these Kenta matches that you're just like, oh yeah, Kenta's still effing amazing. And it's gonna show with Kevin Knight, who's a great dance partner, to put on some fun stuff. I'm here for that.
We've got in a grudge match, Donovan Dijak versus Filthy Tom Lawler. If we're not getting the Denim Daddy Tom Lawler winning, then what are we even doing here?
Yeah, former Quizplex champion Dijak, though, right? Like he's been on Quizplex. He's gotten roasted by Mansoor.
But we're talking about one of my good friends, Tom Lawler.
This is true. Very good, very good friends. You're one of your best friends. Not your best friend.
No, not my best friend. You know?
But he's awesome. Tom Lawler rules. We love Tom Lawler. Yes. So, and you know he's got that history with Saint Laurent as he was part of the squad. If he's still not, is he still part of the? He wasn't. Yeah, he's out.
I think he's out now.
Yeah, he's out now. Yeah, no, like I'm getting my wires crossed. So yeah, that'll be a little fun.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Dijak, we hope you lose. We love you. You're awesome, but you're no Tom Lawler. Sorry.
No. We're Tom Lawler. You're
just gonna catch strays of me just talking trash to people this week.
Hey, after the one you're catching from MRB, then I mean,
if he can catch me.
Oh,
he's. I know he's mad at me. I know he is, because we kind of rehashed the wagon wheel story with Ben Ortman's over. And so I think he's looking forward to this month's LPW show.
Now, in a honey trap match, we have Brett Ryan Gosselin versus Paul London. I'm here for the Paul London indie return. Like 2020, end of 2023, 2024, we started seeing more Paul London, and it seems like he's like back, just going hard, and I love that. I'm
here for whatever the honey trap match is going to be. Like, you can tell me what it's going to be, but I can't wait to see what it's going to be.
Do you think that the honey trap match, they all wrestle like Winnie the Pooh, where they're just wearing tops and no bottoms?
Oh my goodness! Or yeah, there's just a big, and they get their head stuck in a honey pot.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Yeah, like it would have to be like an 18+ showing, but you know.
Yeah, or there's just one big vat of honey that they fall into and then they lose because they're trapped in honey. Honey is sticky.
Oh yeah. There's a local wrestler here, good old Sweet Bobby Shink, has syrup with him at all times. Ugh. Let me tell you, when that syrup goes flying.
Ooh, let me ask you this. That's a great question that I've never asked any one of my friends from the Great Northern, above the 49th parallel, as Spencer Love likes to say. How many independent wrestlers have ran a syrup gimmick or had some kind of syrup with them at all times? Or how many syrup matches on a pole have there been? Like, how many?
He is the only syrup wrestler I know of up here.
Okay.
He's got a holster for his syrup too. Like that's good shit right there. That is good shit.
Now, is it real Canadian maple syrup? Is it as good as advertised?
It's only the best. Only the best.
Because like,
I think he tapped the syrup himself.
Oh. See, that's something I would be interested in, is some real Canadian maple syrup. Like, I get real maple syrup down here, but I don't know if it's from Canada or not. Mm-hmm. And then I just thought, that might be a gimmick that people run quite a bit.
He's the best out there, so I mean, I don't understand why anyone would come close.
Well, let's get a flapjack match going. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Wrapping up the MLW show, we've got is it for the title? I thought it was, but maybe
doesn't say on the graphic.
Does it say? But we got Janai Kai versus Mila Moore.
It does not say, but it should be for the title.
That's what I thought.
Let's just assume it's going to be, because they might just make that a title match at the last minute. Who knows?
And have you noticed MLW, they had made the transition from Triller or Fight TV to YouTube, eh? Like, this one's going to be up on YouTube.
No, I did not see that, but good on. You're seeing a lot more wrestling promotions do that. And again, I have no inside information. I just assume because they can control more of the revenue that comes in through YouTube than doing it through Triller, right? Because you can get super chats and your watch hours up and things of that nature, and then you can get so I would assume that's why more wrestlers are doing it. I'm not complaining because it's awesome, right? I can just hop on YouTube. Not that I don't love me some Triller TV. I absolutely do. There was another press start match announced earlier today. Not sure if you saw.
Another which?
There was. We don't have the graphic for it. You're right. I forgot about it. Nasty Nate Nixon.
Yes, versus Ravenous Randy Myers.
Randy Myers is back in LPW. Yep. I love that for us. And I also love me some. I am falling kind of like boy crushy in love with Nasty Nate Nixon. I do love the dude's vibe. I love what he brings in an LPW ring. So this will be a nice one-on-one showcase for my guy, Nasty Nate.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully he's nasty in a good way. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure he is.
I mean, it's not just a clever name.
Not just a clever name. Okay, we also have a CMLL MLW Superfight. You're getting Mystico and Mascara Dorada versus Templario and Esfinge. Look, if there's one match that's going to steal the show, it's this one.
Yeah. You think so?
Having Mystico and Mascara Dorada on a show?
On the same team?
Same team? Banger alert.
Banger alert. Woo, woo,
woo, woo. So we got that. We also have, hey, you can go meet Eric Bischoff and talk to him about 83 weeks. I'm sure he will. Yeah.
How much the autograph? Go back to that. The autograph is 40.
Yeah.
The photo is 40. Combo is 60.
Yes.
So, I mean, hey, what happens if you're like, you get the autograph and then you're like, no, I'd rather get the photo. Now, is that a picture that you take with Eric Bischoff? Or is that a 8x10?
No.
Or the autograph's on an 8x10?
Autographs on the 8x10, and then you can get a picture with them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so $60 to hang out with the silver fox that is Eric Bischoff.
Or you could do this instead and go meet Kushida.
For the same price. Yes.
And you can ask him about his match with Mars the Specialist.
You could.
You can't ask Eric Bischoff about that.
No, because Eric Bischoff has never wrestled Mars the Specialist, but Kushida did. Yeah. And he didn't even beat Mars the Specialist. That's the crazy. You can ask him, like, hey, Did you want to? Did you think you were going to beat him, or did you are you disappointed? Do you want to run that back? Will we see you at LPW 48? Whatever. I don't know.
Then if he gives you a BS answer, you can just respond with, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, what do you mean? Fight Mars again, Short Kings. Mars is gonna hate us.
No, Short
Mars
Kings
is
together.
Short Kings stick together. For now, they stick together. For now.
For LPW 34. 35,
maybe.
34.
What does a Blair and Pluggo charge for autographs? Listen, my friend, if you want my autograph, I will gladly sign something. I've never signed anything as Pluggo, though, so I need to work on that.
Yeah, I've never signed an autograph before.
When I see you in person for the first time, sign it right across the chest.
Yeah, and then you'll get it tattooed on there.
That's right. Pachico.
MLW also tapes for their weekly TV. 2 matches announced for that. You've got Neon versus Kushida, which that'll be a great match. And you've also got a 4-way between Akira, Matthew Justice, Paul Walter Hauser, and Bobby Fish.
Walter Hauser's making the rounds. Do you think Neon is going to ask Kushida about his match with Mars the Specialist?
I think so.
I would.
Is he going to ask him at the meet and greet, or is he going to ask him
mid-match? Mid-match. Like, so how was that Mars the Specialist guy?
What's he like?
She's going to be like, he was awesome.
He's a
he didn't beat me either, but he was awesome.
Yeah. He's good shit.
That's right.
So that is MLW. Let's bang off some tidbits first, because there's one in there I really want to talk about because I think it's pretty cool and I don't want to miss out on it. So we're going to do tidbits. Hey, it's Blairs Tidbits.
Tidbits. Tidbits. Tidbits. Blairs. Tidbits. Blair. Beep boop bop. Tidbits. Bop.
Cynthia.
Yeah. Jesus died for your Cynthias.
We watched that last night. That's why I super chatted you the quote.
Dude, I love that so much.
I wasn't listening, but I could just see your reaction. So,
by the way, I figured it out. I don't know if it's going to do it on this stream, but that was part of the fun of your super chat. Is after you sent it, I figured out how to lessen the screen.
Oh, nice.
To keep it up there. I figured out how to do that. So if anybody wants to super chat for exposure, by all means, go right ahead. Yeah, we'll happily make that happen. But yes, Dustin, that song has stuck. And also one that I forget that I've done is Boris's intro to Dynamite. Okay. I always go, "Hip, big bad Boris, Dynamite, jazz hands."
Okay. Tidbits.
So I've left a mark on the wrestling community that'll never be forgotten.
Now, perfect segue, because this announcement could leave a mark on independent wrestling. Did you go through the graphics at all before?
No, I did not today. Okay. I got home late.
Okay. Then this will be a surprise to you.
Am I gonna like it though?
You tell me. Mercedes Moné at House of Glory.
I saw that yesterday or this morning, and I was like, "That's cool."
I am a Mercedes stan. I love Mercedes.
You know who's not a Mercedes stan though? The guy that calls the matches for that promotion.
We won't mention him by name because
that's a little bit of a bummer, yeah. But no, that's very cool to see her. No, I'm very happy to see her taking some indie bookings. House of Glory is obviously one of the best indie promotions in the country. So that's very cool. So if you get an opportunity, I would say go for that to get to see the CEO. We haven't even announced her match yet.
No. So that's pretty rad, you know?
Yeah. I'm here for that.
Out in BC, Dusk Pro Wrestling, they announced
Boston College,
British Columbia.
Oh,
yeah. Dusk Pro announced, I think it's called, they announced a match. I don't have the graphic for it. It didn't upload. That's on me. but the show is called Catch as Thatch Can. So already announced is Joey Tran versus Sebastian Wolf. They also announced Travis Williams versus Timothy Thatcher. So look, the shows go up on YouTube.
There's a certain style of wrestling that's about to go down on that.
And that match is gonna fucking win.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be good. So it's gonna be good.
On top of that, we also have NEW March 7th. They announced Dave Rishi versus Judas Icarus. There's a couple other matches that have been announced as well. Prestige is coming back with their show March 7th called Attribute of the Strong. Matt Brannigan versus Elliot Tyler. And also announced Evan Rivers versus Guillermo Rosas.
Oh, very good.
If we're continuing the incredible talk of West Coast wrestlers, well, here you go. It's another Prestige show. Roseland 11, you're getting the Rascals versus Sinner and Saint.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
So I'm very hyped for that. I think it's going to just be a
Sinner and Saint, who are now hanging out with who did they just align with?
EY.
EY, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because Josh Alexander's being a little bit of a bum, but no, that's awesome. We love Sinner and Saint here. I love the Rascals too. They're fantastic. So,
and a very big announcement when it comes to the world of independent wrestling. Black Label Pro is going to be back. So I think that's great for everyone. April 25th.
I'm thinking about making the trip down there for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Part of the Squared Circle Expo. That is my birthday weekend. It is in Indianapolis. So I might make the drive down for that. Little birthday treat for old Pluggo.
You're turning like 19, so
I wish. You look like a narc, dude. You're wearing a badge. Did you just really look at your shirt? Yeah, I'm really nice to my grandpa too. You sounded like an old sprinkler went off for the first time in a while.
I lost it last night. I was howling at that movie. And I have seen it so many times. But it is still hilarious.
Oh, dude, yeah. So good. I watch it all the time. I was quoting it yesterday at work.
See? Lined up perfectly that's what I super chatted.
Yeah.
So super chat us your 22 Jump Street quotes. We'll keep it on the screen.
Yeah, we don't need your independent wrestling takes. We need all the 22 Jump Street quotes you can give us. But no, I'm so excited. Like I know that we got a lot to talk about. I definitely want to take a minute and say I'm super excited that Black Label Pro is back.
Yes.
Black Label Pro, them in the independent wrestling space makes the independent wrestling space much better. So I'm super excited that they got whatever happened and they had to take a few months off. I'm glad they're back.
It's like Dustin can read my mind because after the last graphic, I did want to mention this because there's no graphic for it yet. But last night at a WPW event, it was just a small little thing for a local production here. Raj Desi was there, and he issued the challenge at Fight at the Museum, one of the big Winnipeg professional wrestling shows at the Manitoba Museum. He issued the challenge. So it's going to be Raj Desi versus Matt Cardona at Fight at the Museum.
Nice. Yeah. Speaking of which, I met and spoke with Matt Cardona this past weekend. And I asked him, I said, how many times have you been asked if you're entering the Royal Rumble today? Because obviously he had one of the biggest lines of WrestleCon. And he goes, so many fucking times. And I was like, and I went, just like, do you give a different answer each time, or do you just give the same? He goes, I tell him I'm entering at 40.
And then they're checking. They're like, is there 40 competitors this year?
He goes, yeah, I tell him I'm entering at 40. And so I dropped that scoop on the internet, and then he did not show up. So he was not in the Rumble. But
if I would have known you were going to talk to Matt, I would have been like, I was like, hey, ask him about the backroom locker room at WPW, because he tweeted about it, like how much he enjoyed it. So
really? Yeah. We when we walked by him
and Ali did,
because WrestleCon was kind of not. It was towards the tail end, and then he just happened to have a huge break and he was kind of packing up, and I just like wanted to just shake his hand, and we were talking about that literally like 10 minutes before we walked over to him, and I was like, I should just ask him. I wonder, I can't imagine, probably everybody asked him if he's entering the Rumble that night.
So that's what we got for tidbits. DEFY has a show tonight. It is up on Triller. You know how we said Kent is everywhere? Well, Kent is going to be at the DEFY show too.
Nice.
Because he's going to be facing off against Ricky Starks.
Now, is he going to face off against Ricky Starks, or are they going to pull the plug on it?
Why would they pull the plug on it?
I don't know. I just don't get I'm excited, though. I want to see Ricky Starks.
I think we're going to see Ricky Starks.
That's tonight, right?
That's tonight.
Yeah, that's on their YouTube, right?
That's on Triller.
Oh, I'm all over the place. Last time they went YouTube. But if you got Triller, you're set.
I think it's Triller, if I'm not mistaken.
That's fine. But yeah, Ricky Starks and Kensa, that'll be dope. Oh, Joey Janela, we just talked about him.
Against Paul Walter Hauser.
He's everywhere.
It's all of your friends from the past weekend. They're all taking place.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to talk to Paul Walker Hauser, so I call him affectionately, but like he walked right by me, and I was just like, what is independent wrestling? This is wild.
Yes.
Joey Janela Street Fight.
We've got for the DEFY Women's World Championship, Marina Shafir versus Zamea. I love Zamea. That's like incredible look, incredible wrestler. And even Marina Shafir, I think, has really come into her own since leaving the Federation. Like, it took a little bit, but I think she's really found like her spot, you know?
I hate for her that she had that rough start to her AEW time.
Yes.
Because I think people don't realize how much improved she's got when she does Bloodsport. The DEFY match she had with Vert Vixen last year, or late last year, that we talked about, was one of my favorite matches on that card. I think she gets the short end of the stick, and I don't think it's rightfully so. I think she deserves more credit for what she does. They don't let her do stuff on AEW right now, but I think that works for her. But yeah, I'm psyched for that.
Yeah.
The way she carried Renee out of that scrum on Wednesday, I was like, get him. She just came and scooped her up and took her out.
We've got for the DEFY World Tag Championships, Sinner and Saint versus Los Desperados.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah,
that's gonna be good.
Also announced Nick Wayne versus Marcus Mathers, and the whole dynamic of this match I just find incredible. So it's going to be a great match, but I think you're going to see a lot more of those. And we've got the Bollywood Boys versus C4.
Nice.
And also announced as appearing is Audrey Edwards. She's going to be a special referee.
Audrey? It's Aubrey, bro.
Aubrey Edwards.
Audrey Edwards and Paul Walker Hauser. We are your premier independent wrestling show. All of
that's why we're just the top dogs. We're the big dogs on campus. We knock it out of the park.
We do big dog shit over here.
Yeah, big dog shit on 4 Exposure.
Butcher clearly on the screen.
That's right. I'll get this name right because he will also be appearing, Swerve Strickland. So, it's going to be a great show. I wish it wasn't at 8 p.m., but...
Well, that means that means for me it's 11 o'clock. But
yeah,
it's something. I will say this: it's on Triller. So if it's on Triller, and you have Triller, go out of your way tomorrow morning to fire that thing up. If you don't want to stay up super late, I get it, but it is a card worth carving out some time for sure.
Yeah,
because I'm always listening. If you can't watch a show live, I get it. I understand it. But that's why I think we're in the golden age of professional wrestling, because I can, at a touch of a button, watch anything that I want at any time. So if I want to enjoy some free pebbles tomorrow morning and watch the rest of the DEFY show that I'm sure I won't stay up for, perfect. I don't care how you watch it, as long as you watch it.
So that's tonight.
That's my PSA for the day.
That's a good PSA. Let's we got 2 Indian minutes. I uploaded a lot of graphics. A lot. We could even do 3 Indian minutes. But
can
we're
you
gonna
do 3 minutes then?
We're gonna do 2 for sure. I could do it. Not all 3 in a minute, but we can bang off these 3, and then we'll skim through the Dreamwave card real quick. Just talk about a few matches. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do it.
Now,
Indy.
As you know, Indie in a Minute is something we like to do where we get the chance to talk about an upcoming indie event that it may not be on a streaming service. It may not even be up on YouTube or anything like that, but it could be in your backyard. It could be, town over. It could be within walking distance, a way for you to go check out some local wrestling. So we've got February 15th, New Era Wrestling in, I guess IN is Indiana, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shelbyville, baby.
Yeah. So Shelbyville, Indiana, not Springfield, but Shelbyville. You can see Antihero versus Dylan Cole, Jackie Thad. You've got Eric Sturge versus Gigi Jacobs. And Anthony, I'm going to mess up, Totelli versus Zach Henderson. There's these matches. I know there's a couple others. So February 15th, if you're not doing anything, take your sweetie, go check out Headlocks and Heartbreaks. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
That's true.
Okay, that's one. This one, there's a lot of matches. A lot. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've got also announced, or not also announced, but February 15th, Pro Wrestling Magic has Vi Daniel versus Isaiah Wolf. They've got Vicious Vicky versus Tiffany Avatar. John Tella and question mark versus Bruno El Oso Blanco and Mateo Marcelos.
Vacant.
Steve Off addresses his enemies. I love that.
He looks like he's got a couple.
Alex Ryman versus Azriel. You're going to get Troy Locke versus Vinny Pacifico for the PWM World Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Nice.
There's still another one. There's still Steve Pena versus Trey Felipe. And for the PWM World Tag Team Championships, you're getting Lugosi and Downey versus The Rep versus Princes of the Universe. So This one, it's even going to be on IWTV. Makes it easy for you.
Even better. Yeah,
not bad, love it. Yeah.
I'm probably all over IWTV.
Probably.
From this past weekend. So that's one 2. More.
That's 2.
It's 2.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, AIW Ice Oh Baby, Saturday, February 8th. This is coming from Penguin City Brewing in Youngstown, Ohio. You're going to see Jeff Steele versus Tyson Diggs.
Nice.
Wes Barkley versus Tommy Rain for the Intense title. You're going to get a 6-way scramble with Malcolm Cambridge, Darable Dog, Shimbashi, Shelby Wilder, Mikey Montgomery, and Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham.
I like that jacket.
Well, that's a sharp jacket.
I need one of those.
You're going to get a JVM versus Isaiah Broner.
Yes.
You know that match is going to fucking whip.
Yes.
You're going to get Tyler Jordan versus Philly Collins, not to be confused with Phil. Hey, is that your buddy Bill Alfonso back there too?
I think so, dude.
Hell yeah.
Bill, what's up, my guy? What's up?
Let's throw down.
Let's go.
You're going to get Austin James versus Heath.
Yes, my guy Heath Slater. Oh, Heath, and sorry. Just Heath.
Zoe Sky versus Jocelyn Navarro.
Very cool.
So that's AIW. Go check out these shows. Hit them up. Let us know if there's a show that you want us to talk about. Hit us up and let us know, and we'll get it up on there.
Bronner was at one of the Naptown shows, and I believe Jocelyn was there as well too. She was awesome. So I can vouch. Good people. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay, and now we'll talk a little bit about Dreamwave. We've got a couple minutes.
Dreamwave. They've got some matches going on tonight.
So this is going down
Okay, man.
tomorrow.
Way to no sell my Wayne's World song.
Dreamweaver.
Mr. K versus Kylie Ray. Let's go.
Yeah, I know, right? And this is going to be up on IWTV. So, hey, there's going to be something for you to watch up on IWTV. There's so many matches for this card. I'm going to scroll through all of them.
Do what? Are you going to rapid fire it?
Rapid fire. Ready?
All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
Channing Thomas versus Sean Logan.
Boom.
Hot Commodity versus Jordan Cross, and the question mark. So the question mark is going back-to-back weekends.
Oh, dude, killing it.
The Hype versus the New Guys. Love the New Guys.
That's a team I need to watch, I think.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Okay.
So we saw Mr. Kate, Kylie Ray. Marcus Mathers versus Gringo Loco versus Myron Reed versus Rafael Quintero.
Whew, that's a good one.
Rebecca J. Scott versus Becca. You're going to get Connor Hopkins versus Christian Rose. Connor Hopkins, also great. You're going to get Masha Slamovich versus Sierra.
Gotta love that. Yep.
You're going to get Joe Alonso versus Vic Capri. And you're also getting Maggie Lee defending her championship as well. So, look, there's a lot of wrestling. There's a lot to go check out.
There's a lot this weekend.
Yeah, man. So I'll let you know who Maggie Lee's facing right away because I have the whole lineup saved. Maggie Lee is actually going to be facing against Brittany Brooks.
Okay, and Brittany Brooks she's coming off injury, so she's back in the swing.
J Rod is also going to be there, not to be confused with Jay Wow from Jersey Shore, but still, I'm sure it's a fist pumping good time still.
Maybe she'll be there too.
I hope so.
They should bring Snooki.
And Zach Clayton.
Who's Zach Clayton?
Her partner who actually wrestled in AEW and TNA.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. She's not with the Situation?
No. The Situation's married.
No.
Low-key love the Jersey Shore.
I low-key had a summer of I binge watched it excessively for a few weeks, and then I kind of felt. But yeah, no, I can see why though. It's crazy. It was at that time of the world, it was they were it. They were that crazy. You didn't know what you were going to see, so you couldn't help but watch.
In 2021, we got COVID for the first time, for the only time. Knock on wood. But we got it, and so we couldn't do anything. So we binge watched Jersey Shore. We basically we lived in the living room. We slept on the couches because we didn't want to move to bed. We were just comfortable, and it was Jersey Shore playing 24 hours a day.
Cabs are here.
Cabs are here.
Cabs are here.
It's T-shirt time.
Just a wild time to be alive.
When
Ron, stop!
When Snooki and JWoww wrote the letter.
Oh my god, such a wild.
And now Jersey Shore Family Vacation's on, and that's also just as good. So
is it? Okay, I didn't know they were still doing the thing.
They did spin-offs too. They did a Floribama Shore. Yeah, Floribama. Go check that one out. You and Mrs. Pluggo, tune that up tonight.
Okay.
Give it a go. Okay.
Interesting.
Yes, we're gonna wrap things up here since we got very off topic.
Because you've got independent wrestling to watch. If you're into SmackDown, that's also on tonight. So we want to get you out of here so you can watch wrestling.
Yeah, go watch. So for myself, you can find me on all social media, Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast, all podcast streaming platforms, and every weekend with that guy doing this show. So come check us out.
This thing.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Pluggo _ on Twitter, and then Pluggo everywhere else. And then Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Between Two Beers with JPJ at B2 Beers for all social medias for that. And then I do some writing up at lovewrestling.ca. You can find that. And like I said earlier in the show, all of the interviews from the wrestling weekend that we did are up right now on Love Wrestling CA on this very YouTube channel. So if you'd like to go check those out, smash that like button, tell me what you thought. That'd be great.
Hell yeah. So we're going to peace out of here. We will be back next weekend. Thank you so much for joining us.
A thank you, a good night, and a bang. Right? Is that how?
Peace in the streets.